This is the way the world ends.
おちんちん大好きですけど。
In all seriousness, I understand that I shouldn't have expected a ton from a series that revolved around this sort of premise, but the Emo fan in me couldn't help but to feel optimistic at the possibility of Eromanga Sensei fixing the second season's mistakes. Despite the bad press that it receives, most of Emo is a lot better than what it is given credit for, or at least I think that way. This is obviously a mistake on my part rather than a mistake of theirs, but the series is mostly discredited due to its quote-unquote tragic ending, rather than looking at the full picture of things. Eromanga Sensei was pretty much discredited right from the get-go because of the stigma surrounding its predecessor, but Eromanga Sensei honestly feels more like a series that should be in Emo's universe, much like Stardust Witch Merudu, even though we know that Eromanga Sensei's story takes place during the same time as Emo, considering the cast is seen multiple times throughout the show. What the heck does this have to do with anything, you might ask? Honestly, most of it really has to do with nothing, but when your series is immediately shot down because of something that has nothing to do with its own material, and instead is shot down because of a previous track record, it's unfair to judge it based on those merits. It could still be the worst thing imaginable, but judge it based on its own qualities or lack thereof, and not on previous adaptations or other works done by that person or organization. Personally, I find Eromanga Sensei to be like a, for lack of a better example, dying pet. You love this pet so much as it melted your heart with its eye-popping color scheme and fun animated style, along with its awesome opening and ending themes, and you want to save it at all costs. But at the same time, you need to put it out of its misery as soon as possible, as you see its decline in health. Man, I just described the synopsis of the Old Yeller movie, a film based on a novel that is 181 pages, around the same length as a light novel. Where were we? Eromanga Sensei is certainly not a good series in my opinion, but I'm not going to bash everything about it, considering not only did I have a fun time watching this show, but also because of some of the redeeming qualities it has. Let's just do away with everything that people primarily talk about when bringing up this show, and just look at the bare bones essentials of its narrative and cast. I like the initial idea that Eromanga Sensei was heading towards. Maybe it's because my standards have dropped dramatically, or I could be that much worse of a person, but the series moved in a direction, creatively speaking, that delves deeper into why the characters pursue these passions, and I love the fact that it does this. The main project that is showcased in not only Eromanga's premise, but in the overall goals of Izumi and Sagari are very heartfelt. I want them to succeed because that feeling of accomplishment, especially around any creative endeavor, is something that truly cannot be replicated. Heck, episode 11, my favorite episode of the series, fits my mindset as a professional to a T, as I went from utilizing video content as a hobby to a full-blown professional career, just like Izumi and Sagari did with writing and drawing. That saying of do what you love and you'll never work another day in your life may be a bit over-exaggerated, but it's been tossed around this long for a reason, and both Izumi and Sagari's accomplishments are genuine in this regard. The main cast, while being absolutely terrible people a majority of the time, still have realistic goals they want to achieve, and while most of their time is spent quote-unquote dicking around, you can see an attempt to improve in their specific craft. I also found that the romance dynamic had a cute setup to it, as it had that Sakuraso creativity and having a passion for something bringing people together. But once again, there's that giant elephant in the room that just kills this series for me, and it revolves around our cast, more specifically the actions they do and the already established relationships they once had. The reason on why I love the first season of Emo so much is because of that passion ideology in our cast, and the way it showcased that having a different hobby is perfectly normal. However, the second half of season 2 and the specials that follow it ruin the semblance that season 1 created, as it jumped ship from the ideas that once made it good. At least Eromanga Sensei gives us the courtesy of not wasting our time and just digs right into taboo territory, pretty much saying, do you have a moral compass? Yes, well, too bad, this is what we're giving you. Like it or leave now. From its belittling of actual well-written stories to its juvenile pandering that everyone has seen at this point and sexualization of its young cast, I feel like a lot of the content that Eromanga Sensei provides is either hitting all the wrong target points on accident or is being outlandish for the sake of conversation. While it certainly became one of the main topics for the spring 2017 season, if the only purpose of adding these ridiculous scenarios was to create a meme-driven platform, then I find that to be disappointing. I obviously cannot answer this question as I don't know what the end goal of Eromanga Sensei was, besides to generate revenue of course, but if they decided to build up their foundation rather than building up the multiple layers of sex jokes and innuendos, it would give their cast some meaning in my eyes. Even if the main concept and character profiles aren't logical by normal standards, considering every person who who is remotely successful is under the age of 16, and even then they are all full-blown crazy most of the time, these characters are still in the realm of their story, and they need some opportunities to grow. Yamada Elf's moonlit confession to Izumi comes to mind as it gave her another side besides her outlandish Chinibyo personality, and Muramasa's conversation with Izumi about his stories gave her a genuine reason as to why she had a passion for writing. Moments like these made the cast of Eromanga Sensei actual characters with human traits, rather than just comedic puppets. I really have no idea where Eromanga Sensei wants to lead itself down, but I do know that it is unashamed of what it is trying to convey. If Emo is saying that being an otaku is perfectly normal, then Eromanga Sensei is saying society has no conscience. And I have no problem in saying that this needs to die as soon as possible. But when the next installment of Eromanga Sensei or something like it comes out, I'll probably watch it, and thus the cycle continues. Giguk was right. Anime is trash, and so am I. If you are interested in checking out Eromanga Sensei, you can watch the series over on Crunchyroll. Now, what are your thoughts on Eromanga Sensei? Comment below. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button, I would really appreciate it. Subscribe for more anime-related content, and follow me on Twitter, Kitsu, and my anime list if you're interested. I'm Kent from Spartan Media Reviews, and I will catch you guys in my next video. Thank you for watching.
Like a pro.